How do you stay motivated to push through longer writing projects? Writing tasks come in different sizes. Sometimes we only need to do an abstract, and sometimes to write something much longer. An abstract may take you half an hour or maybe 2 hours if you're slow at it. But writing an article is not something you can do in a day or even 2 days. It requires a concentrated effort of several days or even weeks to complete it. And if you don't have time to work on it every day, it may take months or even a year or two. And this is what I want to address here. Not so much writing a book or a dissertation, but something of a mid-size, something that would, under normal circumstances, require you a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks of time. And whenever you need to focus for more than a few days, your motivation often runs out. And so the question is, how do you maintain it? How do you push through these longer periods of concentrated effort? And here I'd like to suggest 7 different points that may help you to do this. Number 1 is build a schedule. This is a simple idea, but it's actually going to help you to get to your goal. So you take a piece of paper or open an app and break down your project into individual tasks. Number 2 is count the words. This may seem very counterintuitive because after all, your goal is to write a good article rather than make it 5,000 or 10,000 words. But in reality, it really helps you to understand how far along you are in your project. So unless the length of your article is already specified, you can just say an article should be about 7,000 words. And that's going to be your aim. And every day you write down how many words you've written. Sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 500, sometimes it's 2,000, depending on your day. And as you go along, it's very helpful to see how this number grows. And then you don't feel stuck because you see that your number is continuously growing. Point number 3 is share your writing with others. And that means you share it while you're working on it. You send a section to a friend, another section to another friend, and ask for their feedback, and then listen to what they want to say. And sometimes what they say might not necessarily be so helpful, but it may just trigger something in you and help you think about something you haven't thought about. And also because you're sending these pieces to people, it forces you to write them up a little bit more properly, and that helps you along the way. Point number 4 is set internal deadlines. This kind of resonates with the first point of building a schedule, but it's also helpful to think about deadlines separately. So you set a deadline by which you want to accomplish the first draft, and then another deadline to receive all the feedback, and then another one to implement the feedback, and then finally send it off to the journal. These deadlines, if you take them seriously enough, will help you complete certain sections because you focus on the end result, and that forces you to put in the time and effort to meet the deadline. And point number 5, related to the previous one, is that you share these deadlines with your peers and friends. And so you create some sort of accountability system. Everybody knows that, say, by January 15th, you're supposed to finish something, and then they're going to expect that from you. And that gives you just a little bit more push to meet the deadline. Point number 6 is to think about your past experience. If this is not the first paper you've written, then you already have some experience, and you can think about it when writing this new paper. And so the thing you're reflecting on is that I've done this before, I know it's possible, and I know that I'm going to get through this as well. So writing this new paper is not some sort of hypothetical challenge, but you're repeating a process you've done before, and it really helps to remind yourself about it because that makes it so much more realistic. And point number 7 is to think about what others have said about writing papers like this. And again, what you want to focus here on is that others have done this before. They say it's entirely possible, and so you should believe them and put faith in yourself that you're going to accomplish this. Okay, so these are the 7 points I think are useful when trying to write a paper or finish another task that takes more than a few days of your time. Let me know what your experience has been. Thank you for watching and see you next time.